Hi guys and welcome back to a brand new video. So for today's video I'm actually going to be giving you guys 7 of my Christmas film recommendations that aren't like your typical Christmassy films. You know, like you've got like Elf and Home Alone, Love Actually, The Holiday, and I love those films so much, but you know, once you've seen them once every year, you're kind of like, I kind of want something else to watch as well. And don't get me wrong, I will be watching those this Christmas, but I have 7 that I recommend to people to watch that is a bit different, you know, a bit like less well known, a bit more, there's like some scary ones in there, there's some good ones in there, some emotional ones in there. So yeah, I'm just gonna be giving you guys 7 maybe lesser known Christmas films. Don't get me wrong, you may have heard of some of these films before in the past, but you might not know a lot about them, so I'm just gonna dive right in. Okay, so the first one is called This Christmas. It came out in 2007 and it's got an amazing cast. It's got Idris Elba, it's got Chris Brown. I mean, if you don't like Chris Brown, you may not want to watch this film, but it was like, I think just when he got famous, he looks so young in it, he looks like a baby, and I didn't know he acted, so there's a little fun fact for you. And it's also got Regina King in it, which I love her. In in Miss Congeniality. Oh, we've got a visitor. So it's actually only got 55% on Rotten Tomatoes if you like go by reviews and stuff, but personally I really like it. I'm gonna read a little synopsis about what it's about, and then I'm gonna kind of like delve in a bit more and give my personal opinions on it. And if you don't want any spoilers, I will time mark below in the description box what I talk about. So if you just want like an overview, watch this bit, and if you don't want to actually find out what happens in the film, you can skip to the next part. The Whitfield siblings come home to their mother Shirley after 4 years to celebrate Christmas with her and pretend to not know the secret surrounding her marital status and a boyfriend. But that's like the tip of the iceberg of this story, honestly. You've got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 siblings in this family, and each one has their own secret life going on. They're all kind of intertwined, so you've got, it literally covers like every single basis. You've got lying, you've got cheating, you've got scandals, you've got somebody running away from a massive responsibility, you've got somebody hiding someone, you've got like affairs and, you know, making up, and there's like crime activity going on. There's literally like everything in this film, and they're all trying to keep their own secrets a secret from their mum. A lot of siblings don't like each other. There's like a huge age range in it. Idris Elba is kind of like, I would say, one of the main characters in the film. He's like the eldest brother that comes back, and this is where I'm gonna give some spoilers away that happen. So if you don't want to know what happens in the film and you actually want to watch it, then skip this part and I'll put a timestamp on where you can watch the next section. But basically what happens is the eldest brother comes back because he is involved in crime, so he's trying to hide away from these people that are trying to find him at his mum's house. And she's obviously really happy because he hasn't come back in years, but she is kind of together with one like older man that they all knew growing up. But this older guy doesn't like this guy. He's like, no, you're not my dad, blah, blah, blah. He thinks he's like replacing his dad, which is like kind of immature because he's like in his 40s, but anyway, whatever. And then you've got one sister who's married to an absolute cheating scumbag. He's horrible. And he's trying to get her to like sell the family business so that he can get his hands on the money. You've got one sister who doesn't like him because she's kind of clocked onto what he's doing, and that causes friction between the sisters. Chris Brown has a secret talent, which is obviously singing in the film, but his mum hates musicians because her husband, which is their dad, ran away to pursue a career in music, so he's kind of keeping his talents hidden from her. What else is there? You've got one guy who's in the army, and you find out that he's gone, is it AWOL? Like he's ran away from the army, is that what they call it? Because he's got his wife pregnant, and the family don't know he's got a wife, they don't know he's running away from the army, and they don't know she's pregnant. So yeah, that's like, I think, one of the biggest shocks in the film. But it's so good. Obviously, I have just told you kind of what happens for each sibling, but there's so much more that I've missed out. Like, the criminals catch up to Idris Elba at his family's house and they end up staying in the house, so he's got to kind of navigate that situation. The mum is kind of like unaware of everything that's going on, so you're like waiting for her to find out everything. It's so good. It's quite a long, it's quite a long film, but it's really good. Oh, thank you. That's such a nice kiss. I would definitely recommend watching this Christmas. I watch it every year. It's one of my Christmas films I have to watch. And also the song This Christmas is sang in it. So that just, you know, ties it up all nicely, I suppose. And that is available to watch on, it says Amazon Prime on Google. But I remember watching it on Netflix last year. I don't know if it's taken off Netflix, but I would definitely recommend trying to find it on Netflix, or there must be a streaming platform you can watch it on, because yeah, I definitely watched it last year. The next one is Krampus. Now this came out in 2015, so again, quite an older film, like, oh my god, it was 7 years ago. Yeah, so it came out 7 years ago, and this is kind of like a more adult film. Actually, to be fair, they're both adult films. The other one's got like, is more mature, and I don't think a kid would enjoy watching it. This one is more scary, so if you kind of like thrillers and a bit more of a horror side to films, I would definitely recommend watching Krampus. It's got some good actors in it as well. It's got Adam Scott and Toni Collette, two amazing actors. I'm gonna read the synopsis out for you again. So it says, frustrated by the constant quarrel between the members of his dysfunctional family, Max loses interest to celebrate Christmas, awakening Krampus, a demon who will punish his entire family. It's only got 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think it's really good. It has a bit of an open ending, if you know what that means. So it's not like completely closed. It's kind of, the viewer watching it can interpret the ending themselves, which I kind of like, because everyone's got their own kind of different version of what they think happens. But yeah, I'm gonna give spoilers from this point on. So again, I will timestamp below where you can skip to if you don't wanna see a spoiler, and if you actually wanna watch this film. I haven't seen this film in a while, but what I do remember, everything in their house starts coming to life to try to kill them. So like, you've got, I think like the sugar cookies and things that they were baking in the kitchen for Christmas start to come to life to try and kill them. Their Christmas decorations in the attic start to like try and kill them. And Krampus is like some big goat thing that is like a massive demon, and he basically he's trying to punish people that don't enjoy Christmas. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. And I didn't realise that Krampus is actually an old folklore tale in, oh, let me Google this quickly, because I know it is a folklore tale. Hold on, give me a second. A Central European popular legend, a half goat, half demon monster that punishes misbehaving children at Christmas. He is the devilish companion of Saint Nicholas. Oh, he originated in Germany. Okay, that makes sense, because I think that's where Santa Claus comes from. Yeah, it is quite scary, it's quite jumpy, but I just liked the kind of mix of Halloween and Christmas merged into one. That's why I love the film Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's a different topic. But all I'm gonna say is there is one family member left that has to try and save everybody, and there are quite a lot of people. So there's like the dad, the mum, little boy, sister, and then you've got like an aunt, uncle, and I don't know if they've got one kid or two kids, I can't remember, and then two grandmas, and only one of them survives. And so yeah, if you want to watch that, definitely do. I do think that is actually still on Netflix. Yeah, it says Netflix on Google, so if you want to watch that, honestly do, but it's not one to watch with the kids around, because it is quite scary and they may be traumatized for Christmas, which you don't want. You don't want crying kids near Christmas. The next one, which is probably a bit more well-known, it came out quite recently, it came out 2019, which is called, is it Klaus? I don't know if it's Klaus or Klaus, but it is on Netflix. It is got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and when I watched it, it's so good. It's a cartoon, and when I like saw it first arrive on Netflix, I was like, I don't really want to watch a cartoon film. I'm like in my 20s, you know, I haven't got any like children in my house. It's a bit weird, but it is the most heartwarming, feel-good Christmas film ever. I actually watched it this year when I was putting up my Christmas tree, and it's just so good. So I'm gonna read out the synopsis again. So it says, Jesper, a selfish postman, is forced to relocate to, oh my god, Smeerensburg, I think is how you say it, by his father. However, he joins hands with a reclusive toy maker, Klaus, to spread joy in the dark and dreary town. So again, spoilers from this point onwards, it's kind of how Christmas started, with a toy maker and a postman who joined together to start delivering toys for Christmas, which is obviously how Santa operates, you know? And I kind of like the fact that it gives it a more realistic approach of how Santa done it, if that makes sense. Because obviously as a kid, you have questions like, how does he deliver all of his toys in one night, blah, 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 blah. But with this one, it's like, there's two of them and he's a postman, so he's really, really quick at what he does, and he's having to deliver toys. And then you've got the grumpy old man, which is Klaus, who is making the toys. So it's a nice little mesh of the two. Yeah, it's really good because they do bring joy to this town that is awful. Yeah, really feel good film. Quite an emotional film as well. I do think it's quite sad. There is some loss in the film, and you do like find out more about why he's making toys, like the old man. And yeah, it's quite a sad film. I think I cried in it, or shed a tear, or welled up. There is some sort of emotion in the film towards the end. So yeah, just be prepared for that. But it is a really good feel-good film, and I highly recommend watching Klaus. Or Klaus. Klaus or Claus? I can't remember. The next one is Holidate. Now this is a bit of more, I call these films your hungover films. Do you know when you've gone out the night before and you want to watch something that isn't too intense? You can just have it on and you don't have to really watch it. You can be picking up your phone in between, you can be like making a snack, but it's a good film to watch. I call those hungover films, and this one I definitely think it is. It's called Holidate, and it came out, I think the same year, no, 2020. Oh my god, it came out during the pandemic. That is why I watched it. I think everyone may have seen this film. So I don't know how unknown it is, but it's a good little romance rom-com film. It's got Emma Roberts in it, and the guy's name is Luke Bracey. I'll put his picture up somewhere on screen. And basically, again, synopsis is, fed up with being single on the holidays, two strangers agreed to be each other's platonic plus ones all year long, only to catch real feelings along the way. So I like this because a couple meet, I think on Christmas the year prior. I've never really had this as a thing. I feel like in America it's kind of spoken about more, like when you go to a big family event, everyone's like, oh, when are you gonna bring a partner, blah, blah, blah. So these two people are tired of that happening, and they're like, do you know what, we're just gonna be each other's boyfriend and girlfriend for every single holiday throughout the year. And I like the fact that it goes through the year. So it's New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, what else do? They do like Thanksgiving and stuff, and then Christmas rolls around again. But obviously if you're pretending to have feelings for somebody throughout the whole entire year, you're gonna catch feelings, you know. It's only got 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I really liked it. I thought it was a fun little quirky film. I really like Emma Roberts as an actress anyway, so I think anything she's in I would have enjoyed. But yeah, is it one for kids? Probably not, no, because there's like sex and stuff in it, I think. Yeah, maybe not. Again, more of an adult film. The Best Man Holiday. So this film came out in 2013, but it's actually a prequel to just the film The Best Man, which came out in 1999. I had no idea it was a prequel when I was watching it. But they do flashbacks in the Christmas version, so I feel like I kind of got the gist of what happened. It may have made more sense if I had watched The Best Man first, but I didn't, and I still understood what was going on. Like, they explained like the relationships and everything, so, you know, I don't think you really need to watch the first one, but you can if you want. It's got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it has got an amazing cast. I love films that have a big family cast because, you know, there's always going to be good actors in it. So can you get down please, because you're like really in the way. Good boy. So who's it got in it? So I'm going to read these out because I don't want to forget anyone's names. It's got Morris Chestnut, Regina Hall, Nia Long and Terrence Howard. Amazing actors, all of them. Love it. And I do feel like a lot of the people that are in the first film were in the second film. So the synopsis is, when college friends reunite after 15 years over the Christmas holidays, they find out just how easy it is for long forgotten oh my god, what's his word say? Enmities? And romance to be rekindled. So again, kind of like this Christmas, it's like every single person in the film has their own little storyline going on and their own little plot line. I watched this film years ago, and I only watched it the once because I bawled my eyes out at the end. Be prepared to cry, spoiler alert. Somebody does die in it. And it's really sad, or you find out someone's got cancer or something. I can't remember if she dies or if you just find out she's got terminal cancer. But then that just flips the whole film from being like a nice, jolly, Christmassy holiday film to then emotional wreck, crying, sobbing, snot everywhere, which I wasn't expecting. But it is a good film, and it really makes you appreciate family and the people you have in your life and your friends. It was more of a reflective film. It's really good and it is really funny. It is a comedy, but then I'll say like the last section of the film is very sad, but it's good. I do recommend it. The Last Christmas, again, is a more recent film. It came out in 2019. It's got Emilia Clarke in, and I cannot remember the guy's name. Henry Golding, that's his name. It is, would I say it's a musical? Yeah, I think it is a musical because all the songs in it are based around Wham songs, and obviously Wham song Last Christmas is amazing, and obviously sang in the film. And Emilia Clarke has got an amazing voice. I didn't realise she sang. I'm going to read out the synopsis for you. So, influenced by Oblivious, is that what that says? Katrina, an aspiring singer, works as an elf in central London. However, she gains a new perspective on life when she meets Tom. Again, there's a big twist in this film. So from here on out, I'm going to put a spoiler. If you don't want to see the spoiler, skip to the next section of the video. But she basically is a bit of a grumpy elf. She's a bit rude, doesn't really care about her job. Tom kind of inspires her to love Christmas again and fall back in love with life, and is really pushing her to enjoy her career. But you find out throughout the film that he's actually dead, which is really sad because, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, she's meeting this guy, he's really nice, they're gonna fall in love, they're gonna live happily ever after. No, he's dead, which is awful, but it's really nice that, you know, he has kind of helped her along the way. I can't remember how he died. I do think there's a crossover between how I feel like she met him right before he died, or like he got involved in a crash or something. I do think there's a crossover, and that's why he knows her, well, like his spirit knows her or whatever, but he is dead. I do know that, which is really sad. But at the same time, beautiful, because he helped her. He helped her get her confidence up, he helped her with her career, he helped her fall in love with life again. So again, sad film, a funny film. There are some funny moments in the way, but it's a good, feel-good film. And I did not see that twist coming either. You don't find that out till like very near the end, and you're like, oh my God. So yeah. And the last one I'm gonna be talking about is called Last Holiday, which they've just put on Netflix like really recently, and it was in the top 10 for quite like a while. But I have watched this film every year for years. It came out in 2006, so it's a very old. How old was I? I was 10. I was 10 when this film came out, and it's got Queen Latifah in. That's all you need to know, is that it's got Queen Latifah in, and it's really, really good. It's not very like in your face Christmas film either. It's not like, oh my God, there's Christmas trees everywhere and there's Christmas songs being sang everywhere, you know, like it's quite a subtle Christmas film. Like I could watch it probably any time in the year, but it is based around Christmas time. So if you want a Christmas film that isn't too like cheesy, in your face, this one's amazing to watch. Basically, I'm gonna read out the synopsis, but then I'm gonna tell you a bit more about it. So Georgia, who leads a life full of unfulfilled desires, is left shocked when she discovers her terminal illness. Soon she quits her job, gathers her savings and sets out on a luxurious trip to Europe. So again, spoilers from this point on, she knocks her head at her work and she has a CT scan and they find a tumour, and she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I've done nothing with my life. I'm gonna blow out all my money on an amazing trip to Europe in like the snowy mountains, and it's lovely where she's, the hotel is amazing where she stays. But she's been in love with this guy that she's worked with for years, and she's like, I'm never gonna see him again because I'm gonna die, so I'm just gonna live out my best life in this like luxurious holiday park, and I'm just gonna blow my money. While she's there, she meets a group of people who are minted, and because she's got this like this attitude where she just loves life and spends her money, she attracts these rich people because they're like, oh my God, we want to be like you, blah blah blah. So she gets friends with these rich people. She's a cook, and one of the chefs at the restaurant she's like obsessed with, so she gets friends with him. And the guy who she's in love with back at home in America, he's like, I'm gonna go and see her because I realise that I'm in love with her too and I don't want her to die not knowing. So he like flies out to see her. But again, massive spoiler from this point on, so do not watch if you want to watch this film. The CT scan was wrong and she's not actually dying. So she's just been spending her money willy-nilly for no reason. It made me really think, like, you're literally just work. A lot of people just work to survive. They work to get by. They work to pay their bills. They don't actually work to get money to live and enjoy life. And it makes you really think, like, you're missing out on so many things because you're just constantly working all the time. And I mean, now obviously it's not the best like time of life to do this because you have like this cost of living crisis going on in the UK, but like it does make you think like, oh my God, why am I just not living my life to the fullest? It makes me want to go out and do stuff. It makes me want to go out and see the world a bit more. And yeah, it's a really good film. Really good film. Queen Latifah is hilarious as always, so you know it's going to be a good comedy with her in. I would say it's a child-friendly film. I would say your family members could watch it. Maybe like they might get bored because it's more of an on the adult side. But it is a really good film, really funny. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So those are my top 7 Christmas films that you may not know, a bit underrated, that I would highly recommend watching this year. Do let me know if there are any Christmas films that you watch every year that aren't as mainstream and well known as like the popular ones, because I would love to watch them. I'm a huge Christmas fan, hence why my tree is up in November. I'm a huge Christmas fan, I'm a huge movie buff, so there was so many more that I could have spoken about in this video. Like I had a list of like 15, but I was like, this video would go on for like years, so I had to condense it down a little bit. But yeah, do let me know what films you watch every year that aren't well known. Do let me know if you watched any films I recommended, and if you've seen any of them, What did you think? I'm always up for a chat in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit different for me. I'm trying to venture more onto recommendations for films and TV shows because I watch a lot. If you guys don't know, I actually watch TV for a living. I am a reporter on TV, so I watch a lot of like content anyway. So I'm trying to delve more into what I do for a job anyway, to make it my hobby. So if you guys enjoyed this, do let me know. Give a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world. And I will see you guys soon for a brand new video.